Rochelle had always found the expression stuck like a deer in the headlights. It's pathetic. The deer weren't exactly unaware of their status as prey. They lived by humans with cars for more than a century. Surely by now, they knew. Surely by now, they are aware of this oncoming threat. Besides, who responded to a threat by freezing? How was that supposed to help? But now, facing the threat had still had her waking up with 3 heavy reps. It was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Rochelle finally understood what the expression fully meant. It wasn't the deer that was surprised. The deer knew fully well what was coming and what it meant. The horror of it all was that what was coming made it a lot much harder to move. When the glass door swung open, Rochelle met with terribly familiar sights and sounds. 2 black buns, Korean beatboxing, a sailor-themed cap, a friendly yet sinister smirk, and worst of all, that cracking that soundtracked her nightmares, and the 2 horrible, empty, googly eyes that seemed to hide everything far more hollow. The bleacher creatures? I thought you were all sent to juvie! He sputtered out as her board of directors all shook. I say we mindlessly panic in an orderly fashion. Rochelle pitched and Greenshell agreed. Our schedule allows it. Mine doesn't. I have a dentist appointment, Rochelle retorted, staring at her watch. You're excused, Rochelle suddenly replied to her. Getting the creatures there, Rochelle waved goodbye and left to her dentist appointment. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Why the heck are you here? Rochelle cried out, trying to hold her ground and point at them accusingly like she did with Ewan. But her knees shook too much to carry visible threats to the teens. We got out on good behavior. We don't take things anymore. We give, Brian explained, putting on that mock-friendly tone of his. Rochelle knew by now not to trust that candor. Oh, really? Tell Ira that. Rena stepped in, deflecting the accusation. Well, girl, stuck in the past, huh? We learned our lesson! Quack, quack, quack. Seemingly looking at the room and not at Rochelle. Yelled tensed up instantly as a cat does when it sees a dog. She wanted to get away from this creep as soon as possible, turning her attention back to Rena. She raised an eyebrow. Okay, that's really nice of you. Thrilled. Ecstatic even. Now, why are you even telling me that? Or should I ring up my mom and tell her that the 3 teenagers who chased me with the car are here? Brian instantly froze in terror, shaking their hands. Oh, no need for that. We're here on a generous mission. We swear! Chicken Cat put up 2 V signs with his wings to prove it. How he did that, no one could tell. Rochelle knew this had to be a trap. But her only option was calling Frank. She was bluffed about her mom. She was currently with Zane at the hospital for some shots. No way she could come to her for rescue. Plus, people could change. Okay, I'll bite. What is it you have? The spectacled girl asked. The trio were glad to explain, while Chuck and Kim pretended to play a bugle with quacks and Reno beatboxes. Brian handed to Rochelle new mitts. She couldn't believe it. New mitts. Without having to work her butt off all the week until the game? They were beautiful, too. Chestnut brown, with laces that looked like they were tied for the first time today. There was even an autograph by a favorite local area player? Oh my gosh, new flips, and they look fresh out of the box. How did you even get these? She asked incredulously, admiring the present, a shiny sheen surrounding it. Training network in juvie is crazy. Had to give them half of my college fund, Hunt explained as Rochelle's eyes grew large, hands nearing the mitt as she could feel up. This was it. This was to help her with the big game for the pickles. This could get her back on the track to save her finally so much money. But just as she was about to reach them, Rena pulled them away, wagging her finger as there was a naughty puppy that ran across the med puddle. We're not just giving it away for free. Rochelle instantly crossed her open risen eyebrow. Sus meter went up the wazoo. I thought you guys weren't here to take, just to give. Oh, don't worry. We're not talking about cash, or even keys. It's nothing physical. Ryan reassured. Chicken kept nodding like a bobblehead. Rochelle eased her tense a bit, feeling a tad bit less paranoid. I see. Okay then. What is this? You want me to forgive you or something? What am I, 6? Ryan rolled his eyes, then leaned down and hand on Rochelle's shoulder while Chicken Kevin hoved above her menacingly, shadows closing in. It's nothing crazy, I promise. All we want for you is to do well with these mitts, win every game for the team. Rochelle nodded, still unsure as this is where this was going. Well, almost every game. Ryan gritted. Suddenly Rochelle realized where this is going. The big game? Yep. We got a bet going on. A very specific bet. Ryan pitched and continued. It's all about this lucky number 7, who usually shows up, but at the bottom of the 9th, commits an uncaught third strike and loses the game. But she wins big. Whack, whack, whack. Chicken Kev finishes, opening up his mascot head. Though the shadow still hit his face, inside the mascot were stacks and stacks of fat cash. My gosh, that's gotta be 5,000 smackers. Shell's struggling to believe the amount. Her eyes widened, dollar signs bulging out of them. Yeah, softball gambling goes crazy, Ryan replied, then placed his hand on her again, edging her to the mascot. Think about it, Rochelle. Think about it, Rodriguez. You not only get the mitts if you do this, but you get all this money. Think about all the stuff you could get for yourself, for your team, for your family. $5,000. It wouldn't solve all the problems, but boy, it would help. With the mitts off the shopping list too, it was too good to give up, wasn't it? Rochelle's mouth gaped open. Temptation was too great. Still, her conscience spoke. But, isn't this illegal? Jill began to point out, but the board of directors were drowned out by Rochelle's heart pounding. This felt wrong. But was it wrong for her to just get a break for once? As if reading her mind, there was a word like a sword. You've worked hard for years just to play some little league. You're 12 years old. How is that fair? Come on. Isn't this what you deserve? Isn't it time you get what you wanted? Whack, whack, whack. Despite not wearing the mask. Rochelle those hands near the money more and more. It would be so easy. Just one swipe and she froze. It's not fair. It's not fair that I have to work so hard just to play. It's not fair that my mom can barely make ends meet. It's not fair that all my friends get to wear proper shirts and eat out whenever they want. It's not fair that my dad left. His echoed across her head louder and louder. Instead of taking the mascot head, she turned away, hugging herself and her eyes closed. No? Brian asked, anger seeping into his voice. Why not? We'd all win! And my team would lose. My ideals would lose. I want to win, but I'm not losing who I am. She kind of separating herself from them. If you want to go back to who you were, have fun, but I'm done taking risks to earn money. He all looked at each other and nodded. Then Chicken held her in his arms. Ryan, blocked all the doors and windows. Hey, what are you doing? He demanded in anger and fear as gravity began changing. The village floating around her like towering gods. Call it aggressive negotiation. Serena now grabbed a hold of Rochelle, and Chicken Chef took Rochelle's backpack. Taking her phone out, he smashed it to the ground, making it turn off. Rochelle, how the hell was she gonna get out of this? Meanwhile, just outside, Lori was approaching the restaurant in a heavy, forlorn kind of way. I better get back in there and apologize to Rosie. Might as well promise to her I'll never waste her time again as a potential girlfriend or friend, she muttered, as when he consumed her head. She was practically wearing it like her mascot costume. Moxie, who was growing into a smaller and smaller frame, tried to whisper in Laurie's ear for some encouragement, but he was getting the life choked out of him by Hoodie's lathering tail. Yeah, I agree. Might be a good idea to give up on the drama club, too. Wouldn't want to hurt any of them either, Hoodie whispered, making Laurie sink even further. Stop! Why do you torture this poor girl? Moxie cried out, barely a flicker now. The tiny forks of fire danced in Sweaty's eyes as she hissed. It's nothing personal, Birdie. It's just my job. Laurie's heavy steps approached the door. She suddenly saw it was blocked. Huh? That's weird, she muttered, looking around for the reason. Maybe the back door could help? Thankfully, that wasn't blocked. Creature kickers were crafty, not smart. When she saw the opposite, she gasped and hid behind the door, looking back ever so slightly. Hoochie mochi! The bleacher creatures! Wait, is this really becoming a thing? My job is to make you feel bad about everything. But honestly, that one speaks for itself, Sweaty mocked. But Laurie wasn't listening. Rochelle's in trouble. Worse, she's in trouble with them. She'll still get nightmares about what happened. Well, as a wise man once said, tough titties. Now, let's refocus on you, shall we? I have composed a very helpful list on the 100th worst things about you. Number 100. You should never listen to the terrible things about you. You know what it would write with a clap of her hands? He pressed on, but Laurie still ignored her. I bet they're doing something really criminal and sinister to her. Wow, you'd think after all the wrong assumptions you'd think, but you don't. Great attitude. Terrible application of it. That's what he retorted. Explaining everything to Switblob. They just slammed her phone to the ground and they're holding her against her will. What do you think they're doing? Having a tea party? Okay, putting aside the fact I want to make you feel bad even when it doesn't make sense, you don't even know if they are for real. He dropped the facade and argued, fearing her vote. Like, seriously, you need more evidence than that. Rodriguez. It's very simple. You either accept our bribe or to deliberately lose the game so we can make thousands from betting on it, or you get to explain, you get everything in that backpack broken, and we tie you up there with the betting money so many people think you did it. Capiche? Brian explained helpfully. Nori gave Sody a told you so look. Now, even I know when I'm beat you get a point. But only this time. Sweaty shouted as Laurie sighed and rolled her eyes. I don't have time for this. For your passive-aggressive bullshit. My best friend ever since that day in kindergarten, ever since you know what happened, is in trouble. Not to risk this more than the looks, but didn't you just say you were gonna leave her forever? Like, that wasn't me. You said it, I merely encouraged, Sweaty reminded, and Laurie bit her lip, hesitant. I know, but I have to do something. I have to get her back, finally. Oh, great. I really thought I had you there. Then this could fail. Oh, so badly that you'd be traumatized. Imagine all the angst. Oh, it's a risk, but I'll take it. Okay, Laurie, go save your best friend in kindergarten ever since you know that it happened. And I'll just sit back and watch the show. Sweaty decided, leaning back, only to smell something strange. What's cooking? You! Suddenly, Moxie grabbed Sweaty and teleported them into another dimension inside Laurie's mind palace. I really need to go to therapy. As she snuck inside the door, trying to figure out her next step. Rolling on the floor, on all fours like a bloodhound, Laurie went through all the possible plans of action. Should she try and distract them, or give Rochelle time to escape? But could she really pull that off? What would she even do? It's not like she had her mascot costume. Maybe I could attack them, she posited, trying to flex a muscle over them for the limp like a noodle. Maybe I should shame them. Deliver some monologue about how heinous their actions are, and demand they repent, she pitched, before sighing and staring darkenly at the floor. Wow, Sweaty isn't even here, yet I feel like all my ideas... I wonder what's going on with them inside my head. Meanwhile, inside Lori's head, a giant serpent 30 feet tall, coiling all around the figure before her hissed around bloody fangs with eyes that burned the deepest pit of hell. I must feed on the girl! Return to your god! Post haste! I cannot allow you to harm her! She's mine to protect for your wicked tongue! A giant phoenix... 50 fall engulfed in flames so bright and blinding, and declared that the voice could tear their old. The flame burned and grew so perfect, collided and over cracks were forming of Lori's mind palace. Ugh! I can't think! Massaging her temples. Oh, what am I going to tell Lori? What am I going to tell Rochelle? How about sorry for failing you? Rita suggested. I guess that could... Oh, crap. He cursed. She got scooped up and held by her too, staring at Rochelle. Felt shame filled in her heart. I'm sorry I ran away. This is all my fault. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't have bolted the moment I saw them. Please don't blame yourself. Rochelle tried, but Lori was already crying and sniffing as the sweaty girl began to form itself around her. Don't shield me! You always do that! What can't I finally pay you back for it? Oh my god! Shut up! No one cares about your relationship you have! Rita complained, clearly unaware of what kind of fanfic she was in. Kev, get on with wrecking her stuff, or she'll never cooperate. Still not one physical feature presented from his exposed body as he put his mascot head back on. Lori couldn't help but wonder if he even had one. This is my fault. If I haven't acted so dumb about this thing between us, if I haven't been so worried about the game. And I just called Frank, Rochelle started, only for her to realize something. Wait! That's it! He whispered to Lori. As the feature creature slipped through the backpack to find something valuable to destroy. If we get my phone and call Frank, he'll save us! He's right outside! But how do we do that? Lori questioned, scared out of her mind and totally drilled by Sweaty's plot. You're held up and I'm held up. I'm not very lucky. And everything sucks. I'm such a disappointment and I'll never be happy and you'll probably not find anybody hotter and... Lori, focus! She'll shouted, a little tingling her cheeks. Ignore that stupid sweat blob. And she knows. She thinks you're terrible. When anybody with half a brain can see you're wonderful. I'd rather have 1,000 worries than one stupid win. Lori looked up with wide eyes, shocked by that story Rochelle made, who looked even redder while her board of directors all stare in shock. The boy was practically struggling. No, don't listen to her! Sweaty leaping towards Lori's ears to bite it. But Moxie, desperate to protect the girl, even if it meant to do someone else's job now, jumped in front of her and took the bite, carrying the two of them through the floor of the mine house into a dark place none of them knew. They continued struggling, making Lori adopt half a body and fire, half a body adjustment to do. They heard a strange, small voice that was a little child squeaking out, Who are you? Okay, what do I do? Still not brave enough to dare, Rochelle headed her head towards the freezers. Grab some ice cream, hit up my effort. It'll slow them down. I'll try to reach my phone. Well, what about your gravity thing? Biting her fingernails, Rochelle was I'll be fine. Now, use your choppers! 1, 2, 3! Suddenly, just as Chicken Kev was about to ruin Rochelle's softball sneakers, She refused to wear them for either. The two girls bit their captors on the wrist. Sweet mother of Abraham Lincoln! And shouted, "Pull my string!" Rubs their wrists in pain, dropping the girls to the ground. Ah! Like a predator waiting to strike before dashing towards Lori. She screamed and scampered her way towards the freezers. "Sorry, we're closed!" Shutting the door on him and quickly opening a freezer. "I'll take the..." "No, that one sells well. That one sells well. She might need it. Maybe, no, that would be a waste. I never liked the mint chocolate chip." "Hurry up!" Rochelle screamed as she tried to ignore the gravity but couldn't. Everything was floating up. The ground itself was crumbling and rising. Anytime she looked at the visitors beginning to advance on her, they were up in the sky, descending her like eldritch abominations. What was she gonna do? She needed grounding first. All work as a team and saluting the board differently. The color of Rochelle held onto her green-suited boss, each tackling a different part. Rochelle took the head, Yellow Shell took the back, Red Shell took the hands, and Blue Shell took the legs. "Crawl, boss! Crawl like you've never crawled before!" Phil tried and with all her might to do so, repeating to herself over and over, "Ignore the gravity! Ignore the gravity! Ignore the gravity!" What? Joe froze, her hand prodding the drum. He noticed. Joe, kicking Chubb, began storming towards her. His basket suit smacking on the floor like war drums. He would land on her with all his weight. She would never reach the phone. It was no... "Never fear, Roshi! Lori is here!" Lori screamed, kicking the door down, half made of fire, half made of goo. It was a badass sight. Roshi couldn't help but blush a little bit. Then Lori tossed the tub of ice cream and landed it on her head, as of course it did. "Oh no," Joe commented, dismayed as getting closer. What could they do? How could they possibly stop them when they covered by different color shells, goo, and fire? I got all in a crap bow. My friendship places is shooting off sparks again. Hitting on how Lori was covered in ice cream after failing her throw. Why did she apparently find that attractive or endearing? Whatever. Wait, sparks? She suddenly realized. She grabbed her brilliant idea. "Lori," she cried, letting herself float off the ground as the flew onto Chunk and Chuck, who cracked in pain. "What?" shouted. His hilted the ice retorted some more sweaty goo. What could she even do? She was failing at her again. "Hold on to my hand and tell me some dumb joke. Quickly, we need to get those sparks again." Just swimming through the air towards her nearly missing Brian, who tried to grab her and fell on his butt. "I thought the sparks were going to make us harder for us," Lori called out, stepping toward Rochelle, thus getting away from Rena, who jumped and smashed into a chair. "If we get enough of them, they'll blind the creatures and will light the place up. Surely Frank will notice," she cried, reaching her hand out as she tried to drown out her fears. "Everything's floating. Everything's out of control. Nothing to ground her. There's no way to work," Lori screamed, doubting her mind again. How could she help? She couldn't do anything. "Trust me!" She looked up with no moxie already filling her head, and knew, like 2 + 2, that the answer to that was always yes. Clasp! "Well, I guess we ought to desert this place," Lori went on to the first thing that came. Rochelle, struggling to believe how dumb it was. "So bad! Keep going!" Small spark shot out of her. "Okay, this place should sell me scream instead of ice cream because the bleacher creepers make me scream." Admiring how Rochelle was fighting in tooth and nail despite all her fears. Give the bleacher creepers. She was so brave, so strong, so confident, so herself. Few sprung out of her basement. "That one sucks! Oh my god!" Her shooting out sparks too. Running towards the chairs and ice cream. "Quick! One more should do it! I don't have anything! I don't know what to do! This is terrible! I had so many plans for this date. I was going to impress you with my new catchphrase." Lori began crying, feeling like this was a failure. "New catchphrase?" Confused, and Lori That's the thing I said before! Hochi mochi, it's cool, no? She suddenly couldn't help it, but she burned out, no! That's the least coolest thing ever! I'm sorry! Lori shook her head in tears of affection. Don't you get it, you big dork? That's why I like it. You're not cool, you're Lori, and I like Lori. Like that, the two bracelets heated up, and boom! And explosions of sparks swept throughout the Dairy Queen, lighting the creatures, lighting up the place enough that Frank could see it in from his car, parked in nearby. Rochelle needed him. Oh my God, look at that, Francis! Look at that, Francis. What's going on in there? He asked, but Francis wasn't there. It was just Frank in his armor. No, Rochelle wouldn't like it. She would want me to intervene, he thought, but still, what if she didn't want him, but needed him? What would a father do? Gosh, I was really hoping to get her to like me, he muttered before opening the door and vaulting toward his armor protecting his body as he entered. The whole place has gone dark thanks to the sparks, but with his umpire vision, he could see through the whole place. There was Rochelle embracing Lori, who looked kind of scared and relieved. There were laser creatures with a mascot head full of money in Rochelle's pack. There was a chair and wait. Lifting up his sword in rage, and pointing at the laser creatures, making them all scream, "If any of you touch my long lady, I'm gonna miss your juvenile detention!" Don't worry, Mr. Brown. I'm okay, but I think I'll be spending a lot of time here. Forbes hanging up with gratitude at Frank, who was just happy she was okay. Well, good. I hope I haven't overstepped or anything. Charlotte still felt bad and rubbed her neck. No, not at all. Oh, good. Silence reigns as Frank flipped up his phone. Should probably call the police, plus Lori's mom. Great, now I'm gonna have to explain the date, Lori sighed, making Rochelle chuckle. Wah! Sighed in defeat. Rochelle breathed easily. She wasn't so easily scared anymore when Frank and Lori were by her side. A bit later, after explaining and parental scolding of Laura and Vanessa's warning, the two girls were driving home. Well, that went south. Hoping to cut the yeah, it did. Rochelle replied awkward too. The question was, now what? I'm sorry, it's not that. I don't know, okay? Joe admitted, hugging herself. Whether it was spark or not. Should have been honest. Same, but I just think we got decided the rest of it to have it, Lori started, but Lori slowly assured her. Hey, what matters is that we're both being honest now. I just hope that from my end we'll always be friends, even if that doesn't work out. Lori's eyes stung with Rachel's soft and kind look, offered the same. I get right back at you. Do wish you were honest. But I could never say the same about you. I know you didn't mean to hurt my feelings. But I did, Rachel said guiltily. Hoshi, I promise, I'm okay. We were both confused. No use in holding a grudge like that. Lori reassured her, grabbing Rachel's shoulders. She nodded calmingly. Maybe we should wait until we're both ready to deal with something like this. Yeah, or worse. Or we'll have to tell it to even worse than you or a tailor. Lori snickered, and Rachel snickered too. Then once more, silence. So, see you next week at the game, you know, to clear our heads, Rachel offered, and Lori, I think it would do us both some good. The two girls parted, but still felt incomplete. Rachel knew she hurt Lori and wished she could finally prove to her that they were together again. Lori wished that she could have properly helped Rachel, and that she could just ground her and reassure her, even like Frank did. Well, I guess you'll just have to read the last chapter, won't you? Otto suddenly asked, floating out his cousin running his last soda. How true, Otto. How true.